second chance. What can I offer you? But we were so scared, but we were born brave. In the Empire State, in the Empire State. Now that we dead and all is at stake, we can have our day in the Empire State. Flame to the sky with tears in your eyes. We were heavy-headed, now we're ready, we're ready. Flame to the ground, I'm the wind through your town. You were right there before me, now I'm ready. You were right there before me, now I'm ready. Oh, we were so scared, we were born brave. In the Empire State, in the Empire State. Now that we dead and all is at stake, we can have our day in the Empire State. Flame to the sky with tears in your eyes. You were heavy-headed, now we're ready, we're ready. Flame to the ground, I'm the wind through your town. You were right there before me, now I'm ready. You were right there before me, now I'm ready.
Thank you.
We recorded that song. We never released it. But special thanks to Jonathan Eisenberg. You always believed in the kin and us. Thank you, brother. We're going to release that song as the Brothers. This is an old song we want to play you, and we remembered it recently. And so much of our work is about reminding people how fucking amazing they are. If they just allow themselves to realize their voice is special. And this is about needing a friend to tell you, hey, what about your voice? How about you? How are you? How are you doing? Yeah. And actually mean it. And this is about asking us, each other to arise. Because we have this finite moment to be ourselves this lifetime. And we need each other to ask each other.
So this is it. This is your time.
Arise, my friend, your struggle's almost over. Can you let me in? Arrive again, you found your four-leaf clover. Now the world's in your hands. Tonight will end, tomorrow's never over. Let your song begin. Arise, arise, arise. For this is your day to shine. Smile, my friends. Be careful what you wish for. It might all come true. And be surprised again. Leave everything you know on the road behind you. What are you striving for? You're born alone to die alone, so turn This is your day. This is your day to shine. Oh, rise, rise, rise. Arise.
Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very special online event today. It's called Find Your Mystic Voice. Experience bliss, healing, and wildly creative freedom through ritual, vocalizing, and song. My name is Stephen Dyna. I'm the founder and president of the Shift Network. And even the title of today's program brings a smile to my face because I have had that literal experience of bliss, healing, and wildly creative freedom with our featured faculty today. I got to do a deep dive in studio with them, creating music together, and it was really like a high point of my creative life, I have to say. They're super fun, super empowering, and really with some profound insights into how our voice can be a portal for our soul to express more fully in the world. So with that said, Isaac and Torald Koren, welcome to today's program.
Thank you so much, Stephen. It's such a pleasure to be here with you every time and everyone that's here with us today.
Yes. Hello, Stephen. Good to see you again. And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Great. Well, I know this is going to be a fun and dynamic hour, and I didn't actually give your bio. So both Isaac and Torald are transformational voice leaders and co-creators of Your Big Voice. They've actually toured sort of on big stages and then felt a deeper spiritual calling to this work. So it might be great before we dive into some of the experiential work, and at the end of the hour, we'll have a chance to talk about your new program called Your Mystic Voice, which we're excited about. But maybe to start our time together, like share a little bit about your journey from performing musicians to sort of midwives or mid-husbands, I guess, for the deeper voice of people to shine through in their own creative expression.
Thank you, Stephen. Well, we love what we get to do, guiding and brothering, midwifing, mid-husbanding. I love that. From voices from all around the world. We started by recognizing each other's voice. You know, as kids, we're brothers. We started off in Australia, but we got into music, or I should say we found our voices in different ways. For me, I found my voice in a breakdown. Our family had recently and quite shockingly separated, and I felt pretty unsafe, to be honest. And music kind of stepped in the most beautiful way, like that opening to music, the mystic that I got to meet, my muse, if you will, was found between the connection of a guitar and my voice. Actually, remember at 12 years old, I would face the closet, and it felt like this reverberant, safe, reflective surface to feel what it felt like to be me. And meanwhile, I could hear Isaac in a different room after his beautiful journey to discover his voice, that he might tell you a little bit about his initiation in a moment. But we, at late teenage years, met up in New York City. We followed our wild, beautiful mother. She was in the original touring cast of Hair. Speaking of musicals, we were talking earlier, and she is a beautiful woman that followed this gut feeling to reclaim her own voice and go to New York across the seas. This is the late 90s. And we came together and started singing for the first time. And we were like, well, we have to do this together. There's too much coherence. There's too much harmony as brothers. And we set out on a 15 plus year music career. We had an ambitious small goal to be the next biggest band in the world. It's definitely part of our mission. We came somewhere along the journey close to living out a good chunk of our dream. And it was in the pause of that moment in music, in the music industry, that we felt a deeper calling.
Yeah, and we were writing songs for, insert famous person here. And we felt, I guess, a shallow connection, a disconnection ultimately from what we were feeling, and what we were called to was a more mystical, kind of deeper connection to our voice and those voices around us that, like Torald said, we were called to support. And we thought, wow, imagine if we could actually be someone's brothers and get to know them deep down in a contemplative way, where we could hear what their soul's calling was before we got the privilege of writing music with them. And we thought, imagine that. And then 2 weeks later, miraculously, someone reached out. And the rest is history. 10 years of working with hundreds of voices, including your own, and so many people that we love and cherish and are grateful for, that went from scared or unsure, somewhere in there, to reclaiming their voice and reclaiming that deeper connection, that mystical connection to themselves. Because the mystic or mystical has really been misunderstood in a way, because if you look it up, the definition, it really is self-contemplation or self-surrender to that inner world that we have that is ultimately a doorway to the absolute.
That is perfect, because in all the years of being in the music industry, Stephen, I think this is really relevant. We were taught to look outward.
Yeah.
And so many of you listening, no matter what your life path has been, we're so often taught to look outward for approval, what sounds good, what looks good, what will get me further in life. But we're not always requested to look inward at that inner doorway connection to the mystic. And here's the great secret. The greatest artists of all time all knew their mystic doorway connection. They all knew that the great songs and the great voice within them was like a secret gift they'd found looking this direction. And that's really what has woken us up every morning to do, and getting the privilege to do it with the Shift Network, helping people come home to the voice and the mystic connection waiting for them.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, one of the things I love about your perspective is it's like that turn inward is all about authenticity, and you have that little saying that you dare to suck and just like embrace whatever imperfections, because a lot of that we get hung up is trying to conform to some ideal or some pitch or some song, and then it's like somehow we get shut down around that. So maybe share a little bit about how that freeing up your voice opens up your whole being and creative abilities on different levels.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Well, we all have what we call a choir of small voices. And a small voice is any negative thought or sensation or feeling about your voice. And so ultimately, anything bad that you think about your voice is a small voice. It's not actually true. However, we have these small, often traumatized parts of us that ultimately don't trust our connection, don't trust that mystical connection, and can't really hear how unique and beautiful your voice is. And whether it comes from an outside learning or just internalizing the social norms around the voice, we gather these small voices. And then what we like to say is there's nothing wrong. In fact, our small voices are kind of like the breadcrumbs. If we can follow them, they're kind of like the trail home, because instead of resisting them, pushing them away, trying to fix them, cut them out, of the will, we invite you to befriend them, love them, reparent them, and ultimately, like a breadcrumb trail, follow them home to your big voice.
And I think that's exactly it, because the other part of that connection to go out, we first must go home, and that's the direction where we need to tuck those small voices under our wing. And instead of raise our voices up and roar out, we need to inject homeward first. And what we've discovered is when we come home into the whole body instrument, as we call it, and get back in touch with all parts of it, that it opens the universe, right? So we come home to the microverse, to the macroverse at the same time. We go home to go all the way out. And that's really much more of an energetic model of amplifying, not projecting. And so a lot of our work is helping human beings from around the world remember they don't need to project. They actually have a deeper call to come home and amplify to the life intelligence within them.
Well, I love your insights. Even just the way you frame things is so liberating to hear. But I also know we want to be experiential with this hour. So how about we dive in with a practice where we start to all join in with you to start to really access some of these deeper layers in our voice.
Beautiful. Well, the practice we want to share with you, connecting to the mystical voice that you have, the mystic voice that you have, ultimately, the 4 elements that we want to share with you around the mystic voice is that you are and have a unique resonance, a unique frequency that you get to come home to, and through that doorway, experience your connection, your own connection to the absolute. And through grounding through this frequency, this voice, you get to connect to the present moment, which is also a mystical concept, right? Because that's where all the power lies, not in the past, not in the future. So through the pleasure, ultimately, of your voice, you get to ground and come home. So we're going to experience that self-surrendered moment, and we're going to start in a silent moment, a listening inward, if you will. And we won't stay here long, but we do recommend that you hang out here on your own or with us again. But we're going to plug up our ears. And when we do, you can use our thumbs or your middle fingers. And what you're listening for is this symphony that is always going on inside you as you are living and breathing. And so we're just going to be here for maybe 20 seconds or so. As you come out of this contemplation or this meditation inward, please close your eyes. And as you come out, we want you to hum any note. And the law of sympathetic vibration knows that you are already entraining yourself, your instrument, to that which you are hearing. So that hum is ultimately some form of connection to this inner frequency. And please trust that as you hum and come out. Here we go. We're going to block our ears just for 20 seconds or so, listening inward. And just humming any note as you come out of that meditation, noticing how you feel as you hum, singing and sounding your tone inward. Nothing to project, just to inject your sonic frequency here that no one else has.
Landing on a tone that feels good. When it feels good, it is good. Finding that natural, coherent, reverberant place that you could stay for the rest of the day even humming.
Can you find one thing you like, love, or accept about the tone of your voice today as it is?
Taking it one step further now, we want to invite you into trusting the taste that you've been given your whole life. You've been tasting food, fine wines, maybe great coffee. We invite you to just simply conjure upon your lips the taste of your voice. How does it taste? Can you give yourself that kind of self-care? Tasting your voice into the cave of your mouth now. Honoring your own voice, asking yourself, how does it taste today? Is it salty? Is it sweet? Find whatever is sacred about how it tastes and meet it where it is.
Let that pleasure be a way, a catching the wave, sending you inward, that inner current traveling inward, filling up on your voice now, dining in, feasting on that unique frequency that only you are, your unique sonic signature.
Just allowing the lips to part, but can you drink your own voice in, finding the awe inside ah? Can you drink it back down your own throat, down into the cup of your heart, into your own body?
sounds that are emerging. The one sound that you have is your voice as a bridge between the finite and the infinite self. We dare you to cross that bridge today with us.
Last chance. Just closing those lips now, inviting that beautiful mystic tone back into the cave of your mouth. Just for you. Be selfish with it. Drink it back in.
Just notice what's there for you now in the silence. Just take a breath.
What's there for you now, Stephen?
I have little tears in my eyes. I feel like that was such a tender, sweet process. And I love some of the metaphors that you're offering, like drinking your voice in, tasting your voice, drinking it back into the cup of your heart. It's like that whole reorientation from outward focused projection into kind of inner nourishment. What a beautiful pivot to make.
Oh, so beautifully said, Stephen. And that feels like a new experiential and modern definition of what it means to self-surrender and to somatically contemplate that there's nowhere else to be but here, home in this whole body instrument that was designed by nature to be this incredible place for you to trust, to lean back into. And so many of us have been scared out of these whole body voices for many reasons, and it's all okay. And for a lot of us, it's never been our fault. And there's a journey home where we can get back into trust with resting back in our power, connecting to those doorways that remind us that we're just here for a finite period of time. However, we are infinite. We are infinite experiences.
So true. And we want, for those who do have that fear, so many of us, we want, in a way, I guess in a rock and roll kind of way, we want you to see that fear as an opportunity for transformation. And we would love to be your brothers in that.
I had this sort of interesting image of almost like reversing the birth canal or something as we were doing that. It's sort of like we're kind of going back up the birth canal into our infinite nature. It's like the voice is sort of like this portal back into that. It's really quite stunning. Yeah.
Thank you.
What a beautiful reframing.
Let's talk a little bit about so fear is sort of the general, but like a lot of people, I can say for myself, there's different layers of trauma too that come in, is like, conforming to a world in which there's a lot of sometimes scary things and very aggressive things happening, and are kind of easy to shut down your voice in response to that in different ways. So maybe share a little bit from your perspective how you work with metabolizing those things that have kind of constricted us or shrunk us in our voice.
That's huge.
It's a beautiful question. There's a study in 2023 that 75%, at least in America, that the study was done, have some form of glossophobia, which is fear of public speaking. And so this is not just about singing, it's also about our speaking voice, the way we share ourselves, and the way we ask for help, the way we say yes, the way we say no, the way we share our next ideas in front of others and also ourselves. Ultimately, we're our worst critic in the sense that we have a reaction to our voice sometimes that isn't pleasant. And we find that particularly connected to the mystic voice is that part of that fear is that our voice is unmistakably our own. It's unique and unrepeatable. And so already we feel naked in it. When we share our voice in front of others, we are sharing our mystical connection, our union with the absolute. And so that in itself can be confronting. And, there's that beautiful saying that we are just as scared of our greatness right? And so that is part of our greatness. Our voice really is that sonic representation of our greatness. And
then when you couple
uniqueness.
that with the fact that we're in a time that is seemingly speeding up, and people have become more and more afraid of being cancelled and saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, and all of these factors, it's never been a more important time that we find the true way home to our voice. And it's through a counterintuitive doorway. It's not asking, how should I say this? How might this sound best? How should I sing this? And how do I make this nice? It's, how does this feel? And we're noticing more and more and more that there is a somatic invitation back to felt sense when it comes to speaking and singing. And in the simplest way possible, when we invite ourselves to come home to how we feel, even the shadowy, darker feelings become a breadcrumb trail and a bridge back to that full spectrum of ourselves. And so we actually find that the more we give ourselves permission to feel what's gone unfelt, the more we give ourselves permission to sound out what has gone unsounded and support ourselves where we went unsupported, music, song, voice becomes this incredible healing balm to help do that work.
And practically, we have 5 ways of being that we invite people into from all walks of voices, from all walks of life, whether, you have real voice trauma or, a little bit of voice trauma and inhibition. These 5 ways of being can be real medicine for you as a track to step back in to being at home in your voice. And the first one is generous. Can you be generous with the sound of your own voice? And like Torald said, this can be countercultural, in that we are very judgmental about the voice as a culture. But as an individual, can you be generous? And practically, that means, can you find one thing at all times that you're either accepting of, liking, or loving about the tone of your voice?
And that's through a felt sense, Stephen. So when someone is in the midst of this next voice experience that we're going to do, can you find one thing that you love about how it feels or like about how it feels? And then the next is curious. Once you've found one thing you like, can you repeat it? Curiosity is just in your willingness to repeat what you liked. And then if you like to get inspired, you start to find out what incrementally is around what you liked. That's curiosity in action.
And third is willingness. We're taught to be willful, most places, but we are often not taught to be willing. And willing really relates to, can you be willing to have an experience of perhaps performance?
Last 2 are, can you seek out awe and not outside yourself? And for many of us, we've been to beautiful places. Every time we get to be faculty at Esalen, we look outward at the nature. Wow. At Big Sur, can you look inward and find the awe within the experience that you're having as you tone, as you breathe, and as you allow yourself to connect?
And lastly, obviously, tucking those small voices under your wing, saying, we've got this, and we ask you to be daring. And our motto, like you said, is dare to suck, because greatness and sucking are right next door to each other. And ultimately, it's our doorway to our greatness, our brilliance, our genius, is through this willingness, this daringness to trust whatever is coming out.
Big time, maybe the biggest.
Without an attachment to how it's being received.
I just love the way you guys approach things. It's so beautiful. And let's dive into that next practice. I know that it really is so beautiful for us to really fully experience this with you.
Well, we wanted to invite you all in a voice experience that gives a taste of where we're heading into the Mystic Voice course we're going to tell you about. And this is really about seeking out blissful states. For some of us, bliss or joy even has been easy. We find that for a lot of us, it's actually quite a confronting feeling to gift yourself. What we've found is that the voice is vehicle to create the neurochemistry and the biology shift to participate in creating these feelings. So we're going to lead you in an experience where your voice gets to be a sonic explorer of changing and moving through moods as well.
True. We're going to use the voice as a doorway to create the neurochemistry of oxytocin, of connection, and a connection to the absolute or unconditional universal love. And we're going to use some of what we call the sonic anatomy, which we created with biofield tuning expert Eileen Day McCusick. And we're going to invite you to not just listen, but to sing along wherever you are, as you are, and find these ways of being to be useful in that request.
Here we go. Well, we invite you to close your eyes if you wish, dropping those eyelids and just allowing yourself to fall back home into the cheekbones of your face. And can you simply already be generous? What do you like, love, or accept about how it feels to have your cheekbones to be behind? Notice the amalgamation of nooks and crannies of reverberant spaces. This is where your voice comes to amplified life. Can you soften your shoulders now and lean back on your spine? Can you let each vertebrae have you? And can you sink down like you're leaning back on the beautiful trunk of an oak tree? Can you sink all the way down into your bum cheeks again, resting back in your power? Can you take up the gravity home in that pelvic space? And feeling a natural bag like a bagpipe of your belly, can you inhale, filling that middle center space of your body? And like Isaac's doing, can you immediately surf your exhale? Can you find a natural constriction in the back of your throat? Ujjayi breath, or if you'd like to create new white noise for yourself. Just inviting yourself to not just take up occupancy of this whole body voice today, but to start to play and move with it. When we create that exertion, we start to move our chemistry. We start to participate in the symphony of our voice. Beautiful.
We are slowing down our breath to singer's speed, which is around a 4-second count in and a 6-second count outward into the exhale. Riding that breath all the way to the edge so that there's a natural rush of air coming back in.
Go a little bit further than you thought you could. Find that edge of breath. Then let that natural vacuum rush of air fill you back up. Let life in. Participate in finding that wildness in your belly. Beautiful.
Breathing through the nose or letting that air seek out any tension, any resistance in your instrument, your body instrument. Let it create spaciousness, openness.
Noticing already you might be moving some neurochemistry, your biology might be shifting. Just getting in touch with one feeling you're having. Just first and foremost, meeting your body and voice as it is. Identify the feeling that's being elicited, and can you just meet that feeling? Invite it on the winds of your breath. Any feeling is an okay feeling to invite into the music that you are. Beautiful. Now we're going to start in the southern area of your body, right into the foundation, drawing up through your feet, up to your sit bones, and use the sonic anatomy tone, wah. Here we go. Wah.
As you tone wah, any note, have this silent mantra in your head that my voice is safe. Intend for safety of your voice being heard by yourself. Couple more here. My voice is safe. venture up behind the belly button, our power center, our dantian. And we're going to connect to where those first cells of ourselves were created in our mother's womb. The sonic anatomy sound for the belly. This power center is you.
Finding that willingness to dare to suck, to be courageous. Can you let it rip from your belly, letting it be really felt? You.
The silent mantra is, my voice matters. My voice is worthy.
Last one. Up into the cup of your heart now. Can you allow your heart to be filled with the self-reflective voice that you've been given? Can you fill your heart? Sonic anatomy tone here is Ya. Here we go.
Inwardly, you can be meditating on the fact that you are more than enough. I am enough. Filling up the cup of your heart with the tone of your voice.
One more time now.
Now allowing that energy to rush up that central channel and connect with the universe into the crown of your body. Sonic anatomy tone here is E. Can you connect with this greater energy all around you? E.
Sensing I am one with all life. Connecting to your joy.
Last
Showing a
one.
smile here.
Last one in the crown. Here we go. Now we're going to briefly just connect them all together. Wa, you, ya, e. Wa, you, ya, e. Again, here we go. Making a little tonic song out of it. Wa, you, ya, e.
Raising your hands above your heart.
From foundation to belly to heart to crown. Here we go.
Allow yourself to move into rapture, into bliss.
Two more now. Last one now.
Yeah. Just humming to close, sealing this sacred container you've created in your voice.
Just noticing how your biology feels. We have maybe unleashed a response in your vagal nerve, released oxytocin, anandamide.
Maybe you're feeling more connected to self. When we're connected to self, we are free to connect to others around us. Beautiful. Thank you so much for gifting yourself this moment.
Just notice what's there in the silence for you.
Well, that was a journey. How are you feeling, Stephen?
I feel so blissful. It really brings me back to the time that we spent in studio. There's something about there's like, I feel this green light with you guys. It's just like you're so like invitational, like bring it out, bring it out. It's just like, oh, sweet, just coming forward. There's such a beauty in that green lighting of the deeper truth and self and music and play, and it's very magical.
I love that green lighting. That's it. Such a compliment, and that's what we feel. That's what we feel called to do. You know, radically include and remind people to help them remember, to member back to this body that there's something distinct waiting for them to taste.
Yeah, that belonging,
And
the
a
green
mystic.
light of belonging. Yeah.
Yeah, and a mystic to connect to. We all have a mystic waiting for us.
And I love that it's what it is. It's like a very embodied experience of mystic too. It's not like trying to go up and out of your body. It's like the vibrationally, you're like calling yourself down in. Beautiful.
Indeed, indeed.
Nice. Well, there's just so much that we can explore, and you know, in terms of going deeper into this work. And I wonder if I'm sort of drawn to asking you a little bit more about the inner frequency. I was really struck when you talked about the nakedness of who we are. Is like we have a very unique voice, and how do you explore that mystic tone, that inner frequency, and just like really sort of get into the uniqueness of the voice?
Yeah. Well, I'll start by saying when we give up trying to ask the world, who am I? And how could I create and express while I'm alive? And we start becoming completely infatuated with being interested in what wants to come forward if we made ourselves our new best friend. If we made the relationship to ourself the most honorable and the most open to exploration. When I see people do that and let music, song, voice carry that connection, I see mystics born every day, every time. And what they're doing is tuning into their inner frequency. Just like you said, Stephen, they are tuning directly in to their inner frequency that's being revealed, their soul's connection. And when they do that, that inner frequency just surfaces, and we remember that we've never needed to compete or compare with anyone else, because there's something great waiting right from us that's incomparable and is without competition.
So true. And, you know, I'll just add to that, that on a practical level, if you call someone you love and you say, hey, it's me, they know who that me is, right? It's unmistakably you, your voice. And so, you know, we've been given these senses, and there's currents that we can catch outward to explore the world around us with these senses. And there are also, and the mystical path is, can you catch the inwardly traveling currents? And closing the eyes is such a powerful tool, especially when we are resonating our voice, because already, you know, every time I go into voice meditation and I open my eyes again, the light feels different. The colors that I see feel different. So the sense of your sight is a powerful way. We interpret music visually just as much as we interpret music at an audio level. Another sense that you can use is touch. When you place a hand and direct your voice and breath toward that hand, something remarkable always occurs, and it's that identification and recognition and remembering that you are resonance. Wholly, fully, you are resonance. Like we did today.
And completely unique
Taste.
frequency is waiting for you to taste. And I think that's what really you're asking too, Stephen. And yeah, for a lot of us, we're missing the permission. And we mean self-consent. You know, we're here to become your brothers. Don't trust us. If you'll have us, we will request and dare you to safely and playfully be requested and invite yourself. When we start to invite ourselves, to give ourselves permission
to recognize, remember, and honor what is being felt, like Isaac said, or we place a hand on the voice being born from the cavity of our chest, and we're like, I'm really into this. The amplifying inner frequency grows, it has a home. And what we've found over, especially the last decade, is that we are most thirsty as human beings to be seen, to be heard, and to be reflected back, to be hearkened. And we can be that for ourselves. And we can create communities that create that voice positive culture around us. So we're thirsty for your inner frequency. Like, we really need it. And so we're so thrilled that you might be curious.
Love it. Well, I know there's one other area that we said we would talk a little bit about, which is like the cultural component of how cultures have used voice to connect in community and even, build upon our ancestral lineage. Anything you want to share about that?
Yes. Well, our ancestors knew full well the vitality and joy and connection that lay in our voices, that is in our voices for us as a gift, as a doorway, as a bridge back to the divine. And so, I think we won't labor in how we lost it as a culture, but it's obvious that we have competitive and comparative voice culture is everywhere, and so we are an uncommon conversation, which is, can we have a voice positive culture again, where we can find that unique resonance, come home to it, and then share it freely without being shackled by our fears and our small voices. And in that unison, or in that harmony we with ourselves, we get to then be a safe space for others and find great community, great communion with those around us in this voice positive world that we are very busy working to create with you, hopefully. And so we believe that singing together creates such vitality, such health, and ultimately wealth of positive experiences that trickle out, and it's not just singing. It becomes something so much greater than just singing.
It's funny because every time we arrive back at this idea, it's like, oh, of course, our ancestors are laughing, not always happily laughing, that we forgot that music, song, and voice it's a food group. And you could call me biased, but if you're still on this call with us, you probably agree. Our ancestors used it to heal, to celebrate, to grieve, to connect to the spirit world, to teach, to truly entrain us to the rhythms of the intelligence of life. It is a through line and a food group. It might just be one of the great things we were given as a species on this planet to make sense when there is no sense. And our ancestors knew that. And my feeling is they're thirsty for us to remember it and to bring it back into our communities, our families, into the grocery store, into your workplaces and spaces where you're encouraging people to trust and fall back into friendship with the voice they've been given.
Yeah, we're really inviting the shower singers and the car singers back onto the stage of their life, of your life, really.
I love that. Well, you two are just such a breath of fresh air. I love being with you. Every time I'm with you, I feel like I'm more liberated, more whole. You're such a blessing. So let's talk more about your upcoming course, which is a brand new course. We're super excited about it, and is really, I think, takes it all to a next level. It's called Your Mystic Voice, a path to healing, connection, and wildly creative freedom through ritual, toning, and song. You can find it laid out in detail at the URL yourmysticvoice.com, yourmysticvoice.com. This is, I'll let you get to explain what your deeper intentions are for this program, and then we'll give a tour of the modules.
Well, we love that there's this secret, but we don't want it to be a secret any longer. That the greatest artists of all time prioritized a connection to the divine within them, which meant they looked inward and said, what is coming to me that I can just trust with my courage, with my daringness, and start to give voice to, start to let music hold. And that is the mystical connection that we really want to share in a foundational way in this new 7-week course. For those that maybe just know that there's a greater creative potential inside them, that voice, music, song would be either they already know that it's their playground, or they're feeling nervous but excited knowing that connecting to that mystic inside them would completely shift their experience around voice.
Yes, and the greatest thinkers of all time have said one thing: know thyself, know yourself. And like Torald said, we are biased, but we believe that the voice is such a gift that you've been given as a doorway, as a bridge, to go inward, to contemplate yourself. And not many places in our lives are inviting us to sense inwardly and to know yourself. Most of the time we're invited to know the world and to know it in a particular way. So this course is ultimately a guide to you, and a safe space for you to come home to you, because you're the only one with the vantage point that you have, and this life is a fleeting moment where you get to really have an enriched experience of yourself and connect through to others.
What a beautiful offering. This is going to be a magical program. So let's give a tour of some of what's coming in the modules. So module 1 is called Come Home to Your Sacred Voice and Down-Regulate Your Nervous System for Relaxation and Emotional Grounding.
Yeah, in this foundational first module, we're really welcoming, like Isaac said, you home to play with the foundations and fundamentals of what we call the whole body instrument, to come back home into it, allow it to gently remind you that it's got you, right? And then when we're home in our body, our nervous system wants to down-regulate, and we get to start to really step into letting ourselves feel what wants to be felt.
Yeah, we really want you to have this practical voice toolkit, really, to, if you are stressed or overworked or overstimulated, that this is always there for you to down-regulate and come home.
Module 2, Toning with the Ancestors to clear unexpressed emotions, release trauma, and experience a deeper connection with all that is.
This is co-led with our dear sister and collaborator, Eileen McCusick. We created Sing the Body Electric with her. And this is going to be a beautiful taste of some of our work together, and particularly singing into our lineage, using the voice to connect, walk a path to connect to our mother line, our father line, and find release, forgiveness, wholeness, connection where we need it most.
Module 3, move past fear into bliss by tapping into your life force energy and ecstatic states of consciousness.
Again, we're going to collaborate, and this is a collaboration with the wonderful Fred Johnson, who is a mystic himself, practicing African and Sufi traditions, of which he is a part of, and we're going to lean into his magic as we connect back to our ability to find ritual space for ourselves and others.
Great. Then we go into module 4, which is liberate your voice to awaken your divine essence and begin unlocking your creative expression.
Well, this is where we're going to initiate us all together to really trust that awakening creative process. We hope by this module that you'll start to feel all of those connections and channels opening. And we're going to walk you through really a creative process that allows the alchemical process of nature to just lead you forward, and you never know what song, music, voice might want to come out of you.
Module 5, tap into your wildly creative freedom and express your inner brilliance through voice downloading and song.
Yes, well, we're going to really give you the space and the practical tools to open up your creative voice, to tap into your creative genius. Whether you knew you were creative or not, in this module, you will find that you are indeed creative.
Module 6, the transformative power of being seen and heard for profound healing and the mystical experience of interconnectedness.
In this module, we set up something that is uncommon to us, which is a really safe and playful environment to be seen, to be heard, and be reflected back in a way that elicits that safe space for the mystic connection you now have or have deeper. And through a process of group
safe space. We get to use music, song, and voice as a collaborative experience together.
And finally, module 7, the co-creation through song ritual for merging with the divine in yourself and your community.
Well, you've come home to your voice, and it's time to celebrate together, to find communion, unity, and song is the perfect modality for us to feel a deep sense of belonging.
What a fantastic program. I just know, I mean, I've been beaming this whole hour, and I had some tears, and it's just been so liberating just this 1 hour, but taking the full 7-week journey I know is going to be profound for everyone. So again, it's all at yourmysticvoice.com. I'll share a few other things about it. So not only do you get the 7 90-minute live sessions with Isaac and Torald, which are going to be blissful and empowering and opening, you also get time to have recordings of every session. So you can go back and do it again and keep working with the practices. And whether you're in the car or on the job, you can sort of keep working with opening your voice throughout your week and the months to come. So you have video and audio recordings, you have word-for-word transcripts, you have weekly practices you can do at home. There's a Facebook community to support you and deepen your experience as well, and also build this sense of community around empowering and calling each other forth in a good way. There's also small group time to connect with other participants. And on the page at yourmysticvoice.com, you'll also see a number of extra bonuses that have each been designed to enhance your journey. There's a PDF guide from the Brothers Koren called the Vocal Activation Guidebook. I want to share a little bit about that.
Yes, I mean, this vocal activation guidebook we've created just for this course, and really for those of us or all of us who have small voices, we're going to really give you voice activations that you can use at any time when if you're feeling triggered, or if you're wanting to expand your voice for something coming up, or just the course. Each of these activations guide you through a healing practice for these small voices to lead you home to your big voice.
There'll also be a vocal activation EP, extended play audio. You want to share more about that?
Yes. Well, it goes along with the guidebook, and this will be these audio practices that you can sing along to and really free your voice in real time whenever you like.
There's also 2 months free access to the Brothers Koren online platform, the Embodied Voice Portal. You want to share anything about that portal that people have access to?
We're very excited about this. We've wanted to make a membership community space, a voice positive culture where you can go access a library of audios and videos and interviews, but also have access to a chord library to play and maybe start to channel song, and also access to some other beautiful things in our community so that you can build and belong to a place that your voice is encouraged. So we're really excited to offer 2 months to everyone as part of this course as our gift.
That's a great gift. And then there's one extra special bonus that you get if you sign up right away until midnight tonight Pacific time. This is the Mystic Voice Masterclass. And what a cool collaboration. Fred Johnson, if you haven't heard him, he's magic. They're going to be co-leading this between Fred and the Brothers Koren, and Mystic Voice Masterclass. You want to share a little bit more about what's coming with that?
Yes, well, we love Fred and we love our collaboration. And this is a masterclass just for those who've signed up right away. And we're going to be deep diving into the power of improv and improvisation as a tool, as a pathway, direct connection to connect to the absolute, to the divine.
Well, what a great extra bonus and a great reason to sign up today by midnight. So you get more details on this whole program at yourmysticvoice.com. We've kept it very accessible. For the investment, it's just 3 payments of $128, or you save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start February 19th and run Wednesdays at 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern. But even if there's some barrier to the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings and the transcripts and still participate in the community. So on the page at yourmysticvoice.com, you'll see a lot of great testimonials from really all kinds of leaders, people on a path of transformation. Catherine Woodward Thomas, New York Times bestselling author, people just feeling like they've had their voice shut down in one way or another, and this just opens it up and then opens the portal to heart and soul and juiciness and creativity and all kinds of goodness. So you're in really good hands and with a proven track record of helping people free up and open up. And you'll be, I think, really blessed, as I've been blessed to work with the Koren brothers. So can't help but love them when you're in this kind of a format, and it's just it was such a blessing to receive this freedom and opening and mystic depth that comes from the voice. So again, it's all at yourmysticvoice.com. Anything you two want to say that for folks that we haven't covered in terms of folks who are thinking about doing your Mystic Voice course with you?
Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, a brotherly request. I'm bordering on a dare. That if you're still here and considering this, maybe you're experiencing nerves and excitement. Well, most people that let us become their brothers are feeling both at the same time, so you're in really good company. And if you feel that a deeper friendship and trust and a deeper new courage from having others to dare to suck with will bring about a whole new level of connection to that mystic inside you that's going to allow the channel of creativity, the channel of your expression, to be another level satisfying for you in your life. Not only is it not too late, you're right on time. And if it's calling you today, we want to be your brothers in that opening. We would love to help open the door to that and play with you. So I just want to make a strong invitation to lean in. And if it's possible for you, say yes. And we can't wait to meet you there and get to dance in that space with you.
And if this is the only time we spend with you, thank you. We're so grateful that you've given yourself this time, and we do hope it's not the last. And thanks, Stephen. We love being with you
Stephen.
So much.
Oh, love being with you guys. Well, again, that URL to sign up for the program is at yourmysticvoice.com, and you get that special bonus with Brothers Koren and Fred Johnson when you sign up by midnight tonight. And let's close it out with something fun. Let's jam. Let's do something a little jammy fun so we can all close this beautiful time together with a little bit of magic.
I feel it. Well, if you have experienced your voice over this last hour, I'm just going to invite you. We didn't know you were going to. Let's just make something up. How about that? Let's open the doorway here. We just invite you to close your eyes for a third time this hour, looking inward. Let these chords start to find you. Maybe take an inhale into your belly. And like Isaac's doing, can you find one note? Can you find your inner frequency that's being elicited, that's being conjured, that's being invited by this landscape of music?
Imagine your voice as a caged bird, a songbird, and just singing into the bars for a moment with your mouth closed. Feeling those teeth and your lips vibrate like the bars of a cage. Notice now that the door is not locked. In fact, it's ajar. With your wings, you push it open. Whenever you're ready, let that voice of yours out into an ah, any sound ah. As you leave that cage, knowing you are safe to fly, here we go. once again, coming back to your nest, coming back to the home here, reeling that kite or that bird, calling that songbird back to the nest. Noticing that you've had one more experience, one positive voice experience more under your belt. Taste the pleasure of that voice of yours.
We have the pleasure of singing with you soon.
What an epic hour. You two rock. Thank you. And thank you all for joining. If you want to go further into the bliss of your true self through your voice, yourmysticvoice.com. It's going to be a great adventure if you choose to join. So thanks all for joining us. Look forward to seeing many of you in the program.
Thank you, Stephen.
We'll sing with you there. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Stephen.
Blue moon rising, the old man dies. Children are laughing as angels retire. Blue moon rising, the young man fights with his wife. Secrets under the table. One day, cuts like a knife. Hold on. One day you'll reap what you've sown from the start. Hold on. You will be freed from your fears of the dark. Hold on, 'cause once in the blue moon will you find love. Let it flow like water. Blue moon rising, a mother weeps for her child. Soldier returning from an unending fight. Blue moon rising, a young girl takes her own life. Her reason for living, just one day falls from her sight. Hold on, one day you'll reap what you've sown from the start. Hold on, 'cause you will be freed from your fears of the dark. Hold on, 'cause once in the blue moon will you find love. Let it flow like water. Of the dark. Hold on, 'cause once in the blue moon will you find love. Let it flow like water. Let it flow like water. Let it flow like water.
Thank you. We're going to play a new song, or a song we've never recorded. Actually, we've never released.
We've recorded.
It's not new, and we've recorded it, but we've never
We've lost track.
played it live. Have we ever played it live? Here's a song.
No. It's got words.
It actually has a melody. No, it's a song we wrote really about the struggle as brothers witnessing each other, but particularly Torald going through his OCD and mental health and just, sailing through that in this crazy city. And it's an ode to this. It's called Empire State. And
Yoni.
this city as a metaphor for the mind of a youth.
Yeah. I could say so many things right now, but I'm just going to play the song instead. It even feels like New York, just those chords, right? If you're playing it in New York, I'm like, oh, that's so New York, actually, isn't it?
Barely breathing from all the dreaming. I went from tears to hate, loving you, still you had my hand. Your shores were teeming as I was leaving. I was hopeless in the part of me that's home in the heart of you. Too young to understand what made me run from you. But you gave me a second chance. What can I offer you? We were so scared, but we were born brave. In the Empire State, in the Empire State. Now that we dare, and all that's at stake, we can have our day in the Empire State. Flame to the sky with tears in your eyes. We were heavy and heady. Now I'm ready, I'm ready. Flame to the ground. I'm the wind in your town. You were right there before me. Now I'm ready. Barely seeing, just believing. You went from tears to blood to wasted youth. I was watching you. I saw you leaving while I was grieving. I was hopeless in the part of me that hoped you'd make it through. Too young to make a stand, I could only witness you. You gave me a second chance. What can I offer you? But we were so scared, but we were born brave. In the Empire State, in the Empire State. Now that we dare, and all is at stake, we can have our day in the Empire State. Flame to the sky with tears in your eyes. We were heavy, heady. Now we're ready, we're ready. Flame to the ground. I'm the wind through your town. You were right there before me. Now I'm ready. You were right there before me. Now I'm ready. Oh, we were so scared. We were born brave. In the Empire State, in the Empire State. Now that we dead and all is at stake, we can have our day in the Empire State. Flew to the sky with tears in your eyes. You were heavy, heady. Now we're ready, we're ready. Flew to the ground. I'm the wind through your town. You were right there before me. Now I'm ready. You were right there before me. Now I'm ready.
Thank you.
We recorded that song. We never released it. But just special thanks to Jonathan Eisenberg. You always believed in the kin and us. Thank you, brother. We're going to release that song as the Brothers. This is an old song we want to play you, and we remembered it recently. And so much of our work is about reminding people how fucking amazing they are. If they just allow themselves to realize their voice is special. And this is about needing a friend to tell you, hey, what about your voice? How about you? How are you? How are you doing? Yeah. And actually mean it. And this is about asking us, each other to arise. Because we have this finite moment to be ourselves this lifetime. And we need each other to ask each other.
So this is it. This is your time.
Arise, my friend. Your struggle's almost over. Can you let me in? Arrive again. You found your four-leaf clover. Now the world's in your hands. Tonight will end, but tomorrow's never over. Let your song begin. Arise, arise, arise. For this is your day to shine. Smile, my friends. Be careful what you wish for. It might all come true. And be surprised again. Leave everything you know on the road behind you. What are you striving for? You're born alone to die alone. So turn your eyes in, for this is your day to shine. Oh, this is your day to shine. This is your day. This is your day.